for those of you that have seen me have presentations on the campus, I am an architect. I am the architect that designed this building. And I am the architect who is doing the renovation of Paris and Dancy, and that we are currently in design for the dining hall renovation and expansion, as well as renovation of Tucker and Babcock. All right? But today, I am not here to talk to you about architecture. I am here to talk to you about a totally different hat that I wear and with a colleague in which I do this with. So, in kind of opening this up, I got to ask you one question. Who are you with? LC. There you go. There you go. There you go. Now I know I got your attention. So, again, Renal Shaka Harris is my name. I am an architect, but I am also a producer. And so, through that, I have, and this is, so let me ask you a question. Who in this room is interested in being an entrepreneur? Okay? So I'm going to ask two people, I want you to define entrepreneurship for me. Madam President, how do you define entrepreneurship?
I define entrepreneurship as working hard and putting in hard work, but recognizing that every day isn't going to be hard work. Every day is going to be maybe 2% or 3%, as long as you're benefiting, you're contributing to the goal at the end. But every day you have to put in some type of work to build yourself to where you want to be. Entrepreneurship is not depending on anyone else to get you to where you want to be, but always putting in the work yourself.
Okay. Someone else? Somebody else want to define entrepreneurship? It's bad.
For me personally, entrepreneurship is, yes, it's a goal, but it's more of an avenue for financial freedom and just overall freedom. So, while yes, it's everything that we kind of said prior, for me, it's also about finding that peace and that balance in life so that if you decide that you want to take your commitment to someone else, then you can. Instead of worrying about, oh, I got to call off, I got to do this, I got to make sure somebody else on my shit. It's the freedom behind it.
Okay, very good. So let me add a little whipped cream on the Sundays that you all create in terms of your definition of entrepreneurship. I define entrepreneurship as taking your passion, whatever it is that you are passionate about, and figuring out a way of how to monetize it. Everybody understand what I mean by monetization? All right. How you get that bag, how you get them checks. So taking your passion and figuring out a way of how to do that. So it is everything that you all have said, but to kind of distill it down, it's your passion because there are long nights. You know, there's hard work that goes along with it. A lot of stuff that you're going to do, you are not going to receive a check for initially. If anything, you're going to be putting money into it with the hopes of that it will then become something that you can actually monetize. But it's the passion in which why you keep doing it. So the reason why I asked that question is because I describe myself, and I'm going to say, as a serial entrepreneur. Okay? Because I have 3 real businesses. I have my architectural practice. Okay? I have Photog Collective, which is our film and production company, which our speaker actually is one of my business partners for. And I have a real estate development company. Now, when I say 3 real businesses, if you Google my name, they'll come up because they each have a website. I have staff in each one of them in terms of working. So, because a lot of people just run into and say, you know, I'm an entrepreneur, but it's hard to define yourself as an entrepreneur when you don't have your own URL. When you say your name at gmail.com, then people say, well, okay, you're just starting out. So understand, and that everything that you do, if you're an entrepreneur, remember one thing. You are building a brand. Okay? Brand starts with you. So the reason why I say that, what you're doing today on your social media, be very careful about how it defines your brand. Because you are your brand. You understand what I mean by some of the photographs that you take, some of the poses that you make, some of the comments that you have. Once you put it out in the ether space, you can't ever take it back. So always remember that you are building your brand, and if you're interested in being an entrepreneur, that brand is going to perceive who you are. They're going to know who you are before you walk in the door. Typically, when you're going to meet with somebody, what's the first thing that they're going to do is try to find out something about you? Right, what they're going to do, they're going to type your name into, and then everything else going to come out. Good, bad, ugly, whatever. So always remember that. So, the journey that we're going to talk to you about a little bit, I'm going to say it predates everybody, all the students in this room. In 1987, there was a gentleman who I'm going to introduce. He and I were freshmen at Morehouse. Okay? I'm a Morehouse alum. I'm also alum of the University of Michigan. And at that time, we met. He was from Jersey. I happened to be from Jersey. We just didn't know each other prior to that. So I want to take a pause. I want everybody to look to your left, look to your right. Okay? The reason why I want to say we do that, because the person to your left or right, you never know how 30 years later you're going to reconnect to create something great. Okay? You just never know. So one of the things that people talk to you about all the time is don't burn your bridges. Exactly, because you never know how you might have to come across that bridge to meet somebody, or you want somebody to come across that bridge to meet you. Okay? So I had no idea what he and two of my other business partners, Adisa Baker, who is a film writer, producer, and has written various things in Hollywood, as well as Ron Sullivan, who is a very, very well-known defense attorney, and also a Harvard professor, that we would actually come together during the pandemic to create the Top Collective, and then to create 2 or 3 slates of projects. One is HBCU Superheroes. So how did you like them 2 songs that just started out, that we played when we began? The two songs that y'all played, did y'all like those? Okay, those are original scores from HBCU Superheroes. Okay? And then we're going to also show you a proof of concept from the HB Superheroes, and that is for the animated movie that we're talking about making that project into. Okay? And of course, which we're going to unveil later, LC, y'all will be part of our project. We're going to explain to you how you're going to be part of our project. So, as I was saying, Raheem and I met in 1987. We were both freshmen, coming to Morehouse and just trying to figure out what this college thing was doing. And so then in, what is it? Probably 2015, when you started? 2011. 2015. So 2011, he came up with an idea of wanting to write a black comic book series, black superhero comic book series. And, you know, as we do to support our friends, you know, we I gave advice, everything, and then when he actually produced the very first comic book, Surian, I bought a copy. I bought a couple copies, actually. You know, just trying to, help your friend out. Those copies, I took them, I read comic books, I just put them in a file. I had no idea that would later turn into HBCU Superheroes. So in 2021, we came together to create the Top Collective and tried to want to make that comic book a movie. Again, fast forward to 2024, we decided, let's do a horror film. So we decided, okay. So April 5th, for all of you that think that you are Hollywood aspiring, and on April 5th, we're actually having a casting call for the movie that we're going to shoot this summer. And Raheem will talk a little bit more about what that is. So, who is this brother that I keep referring to as my brother from another mother? When you run across people that touch your life in ways you just don't know how they're going to continually bless you, either through their ideas, their creative talents, their passion in supporting what it is that you actually do. So Raheem was one of those brothers for me. And so when Ms. Johnson came to me about this series on black writers, I said, oh, really? I said, well, would you support the idea of a black writer also being a writer of an original comic book? And she said, of course, which is what had brought us together to begin to talk to all of you all today. And so he's a family man. I'm sure he'll talk about, about his daughters and what it is that they're actually doing. But he came together and created, I'm still a little bit of a background. The reason why he decided to write a comic book, now listen to me carefully, he was a family counselor, okay? And one of the mothers that came to him, she was upset because her son really liked comic books, but there were no black superheroes in any of the comic books in which her son was reading. And she felt that there was no guide to give him an idea that, there can be black superheroes. So that's what spawned the idea for him to write Surian, which is the comic book series that he wrote. And so again, sometimes life brings us things that turn into a passion, but then that passion turns into a mission. And so that mission has turned into one of the things that we're doing through the Top Collective is making sure that our images that we are portraying are really about us in a very positive way. So HBCU Superheroes is a universe that so we have about 107 HBCUs across the country, right? So can you imagine a universe where every HBCU is represented with superheroes? Imagine that universe. So no matter where you are in that connective tissue that we have as graduates of HBCUs, that we also have another layer of connection. Even though we might go to different institutions, and we all love the institution that we are, but we also have another collective passion. That is what HBCU Superheroes or HBCU Universe is. So today, we are actually going to unveil the superhero characters that represent LC. So I'm going to pause there, and I'm going to turn it over to Raheem Kemet.
Everywhere we go, people come out when it's over and ask how can they get down. We've taken people with us from California. That's the Beverly Hilton Hotel, the same place they bring out for the Golden Globe Awards, that same Rose Garden, that same pool, that same cetera. We bring that to bring young people like you together with execs working in the entertainment industry, so you can go out there and you can jumpstart with an intern. It's no longer Spellhouse Hollywood, it's HBCU Hollywood. You know why? Because the last event we held, 1,500 people showed up. We started with 100, and now we're at the 1,500. It's invite only. And we bring some of the top execs that went to Howard, Livingstone, Morehouse, Spelman. We invite them on our dime to come meet you at a bill that's 6 figures every single year that we pay for. But you can't get in without an invite. And I can tell you this, when we send out notifications, in 2 hours, we over 1,000 responses. And then we had to shut it down because we can't feed everybody. We can't be responsible for everybody. But here's the deal. Here's the deal. When you stand up and clap for yourselves, you gotta convince people that your Livingstone education works. That you are worthy of being invited in the room. Because maybe you think I'm here to tell you about HBCU Superheroes. And that's the end of it. Let me tell you something. Yesterday I asked a gentleman, how much do you think HBCU Superheroes is worth? He said 50 million. I fell out laughing because as we sat across from one of the most reputable toy companies in the country with the owner, CEO, CFO, director of sales, director of marketing, they come back and give you a valuation. And that valuation determines whether or not they will work with you. We sat in that meeting and said, hey, we give you a valuation of $1 billion. We don't care if you don't have a movie deal, a television deal. We just want to do the toys. Because we can get $1 billion off the toys alone. Toys alone. We sat 2 weeks ago in a meeting with the Vice President of Paramount Studios. We want to do a television deal with you all immediately. Because had to present a paper. And Harvard walked in, and everybody got quiet. Because Harvard, man, they always killed their papers. We were in the corner laughing. Why? Because I was the Morehouse. We just smashed them cats. And we did. We did. And every student I was with that year in my department, we all got full rides to graduate school. In fact, I turned down Harvard to go to Morgan State, and Morgan State paid me 2 checks a month just to go to their grad program. And you got to believe in your education. So I'm going to ask you again, because if you come up after this and you ask me if you can intern, like the student did from Morgan State who just designed the White House for Christmas, if she could be our makeup artist, the first one to submit a file to us, I want to do your makeup on your film. Hey, can I come down and audition? You got to believe in what you do. My nephew was here. In 2011, when I dropped my comic book for 2 hours, I couldn't get any sales. And then I stood on top of the table, and I talked trash to everybody that was in that Comic Con, and it was 30,000 deep. And I said, I got the best product in here. Because I was taught on the very first day at Morehouse College, you don't take a back seat to nobody. Now I want you to stand again and convince me that Livingstone education works with a round of applause. Let's go. Ms. Johnson said, Raheem, you gotta tell him just 5 minutes look like squirrels. Yo, I tell you this, not to feel sad, I'm good. When I was 4 years old, my father set my mother on fire and tried to kill her in front of me, and I saw my mother burn. By the time I was 7, my mom was taking me on runs to New York to go shopping, coming back with kilos of cocaine in the bag because my uncle was one of the #1 drug dealers in America. And he was partly responsible for the mandatory minimum drug laws for black folk. My mom had 16 brothers and sisters, none of whom graduated from high school. A perpetual generation of dropouts. My grandmother has 47 great and go on, but there's 47 of us. Only my sister and I went to college. My mom could not read my college application. She invited my high school teacher over, gave her a chicken dinner, and said, please help me fill this out. I want to send my son to college. I come downstairs my junior year, going to my senior year, thinking I'm about to go get ready for football. My mom tapped me on the shoulder. She was like, no, I'm sending you to a boarding school. I'm like, what? You're going to a boarding school and you're going to study chemistry this summer. I'm walking down the hall, recruiters there, ready to get me for football. My guy counselor grabs me and says, no. Your mom said you cannot talk to football recruiters until you go and visit Morehouse College. Now, I never heard of Morehouse. It's an all-male school. And I said, hell no. I'm not going to no all-male school. My mom made sure I got on that plane, and this is how it happened. I'm 16 years old. I started school, a little bit early, and I get down and I'm stupid. And I find myself on Spelman's campus. And I see this dude, I'm like, yo, what a party at? He's like, what you mean with a party at? I said, dude, there's so many fine women out here, where a party at? And he just looked at me like, you crazy? It's like this every Friday on Spelman's campus. I said, dude, you lying. He said, I'm serious. I found my way into this building. I asked this wonderful lady, I said, can I give you the phone? She said, yes. I called home. I said, Mom, Morehouse. And when I went to Morehouse prepared me to become the individual that I am today. And I tell this famous story. Dr. Fort walked in his class, freshman year history. He said, I'm going to do a social experiment. He said, 24 of us, black males, raise your hand if you're the valedictorian of your class. Man, 12 hands went up. I was shook. There's one class, 12 hands went up. He said, raise your hand if you graduated number 2. 10 hands went up. I was shook. He said, raise your hand if you graduated in the top 1%. And the rest of the hands went up. That was just one class. And he does a social experiment to let us know this is the competition that you're dealing with. And from there, from that energy, that confidence, that education, that HBCU gave me everything I need to have in life. And I am telling you, as you sit here, you are responsible for making Livingstone grow. You are responsible for taking this narrative beyond this campus and making people believe in you. You've got to do it. There's a saying that we carry, it's so arrogant. You can tell a Morehouse man, but you can't tell him much. It's foolish, but we believe it. Did you believe it when you went to the University of Michigan? You believed it. I'm in grad school. Dr. Jackson walks in first day of class. His first assignment, he didn't even introduce himself. It's technical writing, mandate. He gives all 70 of us an assignment. Take this 3,000 word paragraph down to 1,500 without losing the meaning. 3 hours later, everybody turns their paper in. He comes back. He says, listen, next class. Here's how I like to start my class off, ladies and gentlemen. We got 3 days of B, 1 C, everybody else A. If you believe you got an A, you won't have to take a midterm. But if you're wrong, your midterm starts off with an A. I'm not going to tell you got an A now. They got fired. I grabbed my bag and walked to the door. He said, what's your name? I told him my name. He said, yes. You got the highest grade in here. How did you know? Because I went to Morehouse. I'm going to set the standard. Wherever I go, and you got to believe it about Livingstone, you'll set the standard. Wherever you go, don't let somebody tell you because they went to Princeton and you went to Livingstone, you're not as good as them. I walk in the room and set the standard wherever I go. That's why I'm his business partner. Because if I'm not there, I know what kind of man he is. When she called him and said, would you come? Sure, I'll come. If I can go to Harvard, why can't I come to Livingstone? If I can go to Howard, why can't I come to Livingstone? If I can go to Princeton and talk about this, why can't I come to Livingstone? This is for you. And we have a novel idea. A novel idea. We want to make this campus, and we want to make our people great. And you got to believe that you can get it done. Because when you believe in yourselves, it works better. I'm going to spend this last minute talking about me, and then we're going to get into this project. That's just another 5 minutes, and then we're going to open up for question and answer. I ain't coming to lecture you all today. Information people develop and exchange ideas. And if you came in here today and you have questions about a man who started from nothing and created a $1 billion IP who works for himself, I don't preach anybody to talk anymore. This project took us to Brazil. This project took us to California. This project took us to Maryland. It took me to prisons, church. This project has taken me everywhere. And when you believe, you set the example. I had 2 words. They told me not to send my daughter to Cheney University. Now, you don't want to do that. My daughter took SAT. She got just over 1100 the first time. Then we put her in a position with the resources to blow out the water. Then the review board sent us a test saying, your daughter cheated. my daughter graduated with 3.9. Who in here is on scholarship? Raise your hand. What's your major?
Criminal justice.
What else?
My major is criminal justice.
What else?
I'm also the SGA.
No. What else is your major? That it?
Education.
Okay. Who else on scholarship? What's your major? What else? Nothing. We went through this. Who else on scholarship? What's your major? What else? Okay, so listen to this to you. When Cheney gave my daughter a scholarship, I told her to her face, listen, if you go to school for free and you come back to my house with 1 degree, we're going to fight. Because if somebody's going to pay you, you don't just get 1 degree, you get as many as they're paid for. So she graduated with a degree in NASCAR. She graduated with a degree in graphic design. She minored in economics and she minored in business, and she did it in 4 years with 3.9. Now she's at the University of Pittsburgh on a full scholarship. The University of Pittsburgh just sent her to Scotland to study an advanced program for economics, where she currently resides right now in Scotland, chilling in that program. After they told her not to go to an HBCU. See, but it's not about the place where you are, it's about you. And if somebody can pay you to go to school, get it all. I put you inside the booth. I said you had 1 minute to collect all these $100 bills. You're not going to just get 1. Get 2, 3, 4, 5. I have another daughter. She got a scholarship to every university in the world that had her major. But she couldn't go to HBCU because they did not offer artificial intelligence and environmental science as a major. As a dual major. So now she's about to graduate from Villanova this May. And she starts off at $135,000 a year. Did I mention my daughter at the University of Pittsburgh is also serving as a graphic design coordinator for Major League Baseball? And while at Pittsburgh, she makes over $100,000 while she's in school. That's what you can do. And that comes from a man that was in the projects with his mother on welfare, sticking around for free bread, free cheese, and powdered milk. And now 2 generations later, my mom cries. You know why? Because we changed the narrative. And some of you all first-year graduates, you can change the narrative. That's what I gotta say about myself. Let's talk about this project. What is HBCU Superheroes? Hey man, play that video for me, bro. Man, I'll tell you a funny story. We laugh about this all the time. You know, I speak man, I'm good now. I can step out the voice back. Remember, we sitting across from this executive, and she said, hey man, turn my seat, bro. I got so much pressure for this one. Shop is sitting to the right of me. He's shop is sitting across from me. That's Mr. Harris. My other business partners to the left. She's like, yo, we can get you a deal today. She said, I guarantee we can get you a deal. This is incredible. I was like, it's like, oh, I was speaking to people. She said, yeah, but you know what? The main character, that black guy, we just make him gay. Man, shots start keeping me under the table. And I was like, excuse me? She said, just make the character gay. Make your main character gay, we'll get you a deal today. And we turned her down. Then we sit in with another reputable streaming site larger than work. And they're like, oh, we love you, but can you explain this to us? Like, do you really think people would believe that there's a university with all superheroes were black and educated from black schools? We just shook our heads, we just said we good, and we moved on. And here's the funny part. The toy company came back and put this asinine deal on the paper. And we didn't even entertain it. But here's the funny part. The gentleman who got us the meeting is no longer with the toy company. He works with us. He said, hey man, I want legacy in my family. He said, I done worked on Marvel, I done worked on Star Wars and DC. I want to work with you all on your project. He said, because when y'all drop this, this thing's going to blow, and I want to help y'all design your project. So now he left that cushy job and he works with HBCU Superheroes now because he understands the magnate's mission. And here's the mission. When Black Panther dropped, we gave Black Panther $10 million of free marketing in the black community because we were so entrenched in showing non-black people that a black superhero can work. And so we gave them all this free marketing. $10 billion worth, and now Black Panther is pushing $3 billion in profits. So imagine Black Panther in his storyline and went to Livingstone, right? And Marvel worked out a deal with Livingstone and said, every time Black Panther merchandise, whatever, we'll give you a percentage. So let's assume that deal is 10%, which is unreasonable. That means that Livingstone will be getting a check in the very near future for $300 million. Because of all that marketing and free promotion, Marvel didn't give us anything. And one of the reasons why we're not preparing out today is because we want to keep creative control over our project. One of the reasons why we're shooting our own horror movie, we want to create control over our projects. We want to be able to say who we hire, who we fire, who works with us. And what we're doing, we're traveling the country, signing agreements with HBCUs who come on board. So when we finally drop this, like I said now, we design our own toys. And because we didn't drop down here, we started designing our own toys, wireless speakers, and crashed our website in 3 days ordering our merchandise. And so your president has already said that he wants to work out an agreement with us. So every time you go and purchase something with the superhero that represents Livingstone, you get a percentage back to your institution. You get a percentage. It's about sharing the wealth. And we know this is going to blow because we just sat in too many meetings where they try to undermine us economically and keep the majority of wealth to themselves. And they'll tell you what they can make off the project, they just won't give you your fair share. They just won't do it. And we just keep moving along. And we announce we're shooting a horror movie. Everybody said, what you going to do, HBCU Super? You're going to do a lot with it. We're just going to shoot this first. Because you got to be more than one thing. And so today, I came to talk to you. We're about to get out of here because I'm going to keep going because I'm going to question and answer. I came to introduce you to characters never seen before. You get a basket. Get a raffle ticket in your hand.
Did everybody get one? The sun came in after we were giving them out. Did everybody get a raffle ticket? All the students.